Greetings, good people. As promised, I am here once again. But firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize. Maybe let me just wait until we have a few more people coming on board so that I can apologize to everyone hearing me. If you come on board, and you hear my voice, please type loud and clear so that I know we are on the same page. Because yesterday I recorded uh, with my microphone misbehaving. So I need to redo the recording. The same message that I was supposed or I preached yesterday, I shared with you yesterday, is the same message that I'm going to share with everyone who is here today. Because yesterday my microphone was misbehaving. So I need to redo the recording that I did yesterday, but did not reach the public. So if you are there, if you hear my voice, please type loud and clear. If you are hearing me, just type loud and clear, so that maybe I know that this time around my voice is getting there, so that I can know that my voice is getting there. If you are there, please type loud and clear so that I know that my voice is being heard. Yesterday, I had a challenge. I had a challenge yesterday with my microphone. I did not know that it was not picking my voice until it was late, maybe towards the end of the session. However, I had to take down the video, the whole video. Why? Because it was not making any sense, and it was the voice was started to be heard midway. Thank you so much for typing loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you. Now I know that my voice is getting out there. So I am going to present the message that I presented yesterday. Well, let's get into it then. I am very sorry of what happened yesterday to those who were on the platform, the King's table, but did not hear anything. Very sorry. If you see anyone who was there yesterday and they had to drop because they could not hear me, please apologize on my behalf. Today I made extra I extra care to make sure that the voice gets to you as it's supposed to be. So this is the King's Table with your host, Bishop Knowledge. I am here to speak to you today about developing a mental toughness. I'm here to talk to you about developing mental toughness, because on the King's Table we present real food for life. It's a real banquet for life. You need to go out with something from the King's Table. Whenever I present, you must have some takeaways that you go with. Thank you so much for being there with me. Right. So, I am going to talk to you about developing mental toughness. I am also going to base my chat or my discussion on First Samuel chapter number 17, the story of David. However, I am not going to read the whole story, but I am going to narrate it. Then I will explain the life lessons that I am taking from that story. The story of David that is recorded in First Samuel chapter number 17 is a story whereby David uh, was a shepherd, but he was sent to follow his brothers at the war front by his father. When he got there, the Bible says he heard Goliath challenging people who the Israelites, of which David was also an Israelite. So Goliath was challenging the Israelites, and the Israelites were running away at the sight of him. So when David saw that, he asked the question and say, "What shall be done to a person who killed this man?" And they told him what was to be done until he got to Saul and promised to deal with Goliath. So that's the story. So let me go into some issues here that I want you to pick and to know. Number one, I need you to understand that the dressing that I am putting on is actually deliberate for some reasons. I have to put on this combat-like to make sure that I present an illustration that you are going to understand at the end of this presentation. Right. So, I want you to know that whatever you do in private becomes the basis of who you are or who you are going to be. Whatever you do in private becomes the basis of who you are and who you are going to be. If you have got a tendency of giving up in private, know for sure that you have what it takes to give up even in public. We have got a lot of people who tend to give up when they know that nobody knows what is happening. Nobody is watching them. Nobody knows what is in their heart. They give up. But let me say to you, if you have got a tendency of giving up in private, know for sure that you have got the capacity to give up in public. You need to ask yourself some questions here for you to know whether you have that mental toughness that I am talking about here. Can you stand it when people laugh at you? Can you really say, I don't mind about these things? I am moving forward when people are laughing at you. Do you continue when people tell you that you are not good enough? Let's say you are attempting to do something and somebody tells you that you are not good enough for these things. Are you going to continue or you give up? After failing once, do you pick up the pieces and move forward or you give up? There are a lot of people who failed once but yet to give up totally and completely. I read a book, I referred to it last time, a book by Stephen Bartlett. The title of the book is The Diary of a CEO. So in that book, there is a statement that I am borrowing right now. It says, I quote, don't just think that, I quote, the most convincing sign that someone will achieve new results in future is new behavior in the present. Let me take that again. The most convincing sign that someone will achieve new results in future is new behavior in the present. Sometimes when people hope for change in their lives, they think that things are going to happen anyway. As long as they are still alive, things are going to happen. Development is going to come. Things are going to move forward. Let me say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you don't change some behaviors now, don't expect things to change in the future. You might as well die hoping that things are going to change, but you will not see that change. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that a new behavior in the present is the embedment of mental toughness. If you are willing to say, I am going to change this now, then that's the beginning, that's the foundation of mental toughness. You are there now to say, okay, ability is secondary, but I need to have that mental toughness that even faith can work with. Sometimes people fail, yet they are confessing faith. Why? Because they lack mental toughness that goes with their faith. This is why the Bible says a person who is like chaff that is driven to and fro by wind cannot receive anything from God. Why? Because they are not tough mentally to the extent that they can receive or they can stand on their word or stand on what they believe. So I want to challenge someone today to develop a mental toughness that can help you to move forward in this life, that can help you to make steps forward in this life. Faith only complements that mental toughness. Faith complements mental toughness. I believe you are hearing me loud and clear. David developed a mental toughness when he was out there alone in the jungle. He was there and he fought battles without anyone to encourage him. He fought battles without anyone to ululate or to clap hands for him. He developed mental toughness when he was alone. Sometimes there are battles that you fight when you are alone. That's where you develop that muscle, that mental toughness that will help you to stand in the face of diversity, in the face of opposition, and say, I am going to stand and do it. Let me tell you something. Do you know that every person has got fear? Everyone has got fear. But some had developed the capacity to manage their fears. Some people developed a capacity to manage fear that is in their hearts. I read a book when a boxer who had won many accolades, who was testifying or he was being interviewed, and he said, whenever I will be walking towards the ring, I feel my heart beating fast, afraid to go in there, knowing very well that I may be beaten in there, I may be hurt in there, or I may beat someone in there, or I may hurt someone in there. So they will be afraid, but they developed a mental toughness, a mental power that drives them forward even in the presence of fear. If you don't have any fear within you, you cease to be human. But as a human being, you still have some fears within you, but simply because you have developed a mental toughness, then you can move forward even against the fears that you have. I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we have got a lot of men who were known in their youth that they were afraid of women, they were afraid of girls, but they are now married. How did it happen? They managed to conquer their fears. They managed to conquer what they fear. So, if you want to conquer your fear, do what you fear repeatedly. That's how you build mental toughness. So David repeatedly fought and killed when he was alone. He killed a lion. He killed a bear. So when he saw Goliath challenging the Israelites, he said to himself, if the lion died in my hands, if the bear died in my hands, this one can die also. So David had learned to control his fears when he was alone in the jungle. So when a new challenge comes every day, he is prepared mentally. The reason why Israel was running away from Goliath, they were not running away because Goliath was advancing. No. They were running away because Goliath had spoken some words. So literally, they were running away from the words that Goliath had spoken. They were not running away from Goliath who was advancing. This is because they were not prepared mentally. They were not tough in here. As long as you are not yet tough in here, as long as you are still weak in here, forget about succeeding in life. Success is about people who are tough in the mind, who says it can be done. Fear has got a tendency of destroying the ability to think. Many people, when they are gripped by fear, they stop thinking. They stop thinking to the extent that whatever happens to them now, they are now flowing or following through the fears that they have. So when Israel saw Goliath, they ceased to think. Nobody thought about God. Nobody thought about anything else. Why? Because fear had paralyzed them. Sometimes we fear so simple things. Some fear to fail. If they see that there is a chance that they are going to fail, they give up. Some fear the comments of the people. if they know that people's comments are not positive, are not okay, are not good, they will give up. Some have got the fear of rejection. They don't want to be rejected. Therefore, if they plan a function and invite people, they are afraid that people may not come because they already fear rejection. So that fear controls them. That fear holds them back. But you need to develop a mental toughness that helps you to drive yourself forward. Some have got fear of many eyes. If they know that a lot of eyes are going to be watching me, then they cannot do it. We have got a lot of people who have got something good to say when they are alone. But when they see people, they cannot say it. Why? Because they are afraid. I want you to learn to manage your fears and develop a mental toughness that can take you to the next level, that can move you forward. David came to all Israel when Israel was already paralyzed with fear. Then David appeared. When he came, he heard Goliath speaking and saw people literally running away from them, from the words of Goliath. Then that's when he began to ask. After speaking, when he was taken to Saul, Saul said, "You cannot fight this man, because he has been a champion from his youth." David had to bring out his CV, which no one knew about. Some of the battles that we fight up here when we are alone, nobody knows about them. Some of the battles that we fight when we are in our homes, when we are in our prayer closets, when we are driving, when we are doing all sorts of things, when we are alone, nobody knows about them. Just like David had some battles which nobody knew about, only to know them when he was about to go and fight Goliath. You see, I had to search for the definition of the word bravery. Bravery is the ability to do something that frightens others. The ability to do something that frightens people. So, that which makes people afraid, if you have got the ability to do it, then you are brave. Just like David, people are afraid of lions. But David had to go after a lion, to run after a lion. When people, if there was anyone to watch, they would be afraid, not of the lion, but of David. When people saw a bear, they ran away, afraid that it might devour them. So when if they could see David running after a bear or running towards a bear, they would be afraid, not for the bear, but for David. However, David was developing a mental toughness that he can go after that which people are afraid of. This is why when Goliath made a mistake of speaking when David was hearing, David said, "Let no man's heart melt because of this man. I am going to fight him. I am going to kill him." Why? It was because David had developed a mental toughness that says you cannot fail anything. So faith had to catch up with him Why? Because he had a mental toughness that believes or that stands that I can do all things. Do I have anyone who can confess and say, I can do all things, and stand with that statement to pursue things to the full? Do I have someone who really say, I have developed that mental capacity, that toughness, that will not back down on anything? People may call you stubborn. People may call you stupid. But that must not deter you. That must not draw you back. Make your own combat that your mind can put on and be ready for war. I have put this jacket deliberately to illustrate that I have made my own combat. Not this physical one only, but that which my mind had to put on. And I am ready to be dragged through mud. Yet I will remain going forward. I am ready to go through the waters, and yet still going forward. I am ready for my mind to put on a combat like a soldier in the army, ready for anything. Because my mind has been trained to be tough. I have trained my mind to be tough to the extent that nobody can tell me what to do, but I tell myself what is right for me, that which takes me forward. Because David knew that nobody from his family is going to encourage him. As you know, when he got there, when he was beginning to ask questions, his own family had to attack him, asking him about the sheep. Why did you come? You come to see war, blah, blah. Which war am I seeing? But he had developed a mental toughness that, to the extent that those words did not make him angry or deter him. But he had to move forward and stand on the word and stand on his mental capacity, which he believed that God is with me and I can do anything. I can fight any battle and win. I can kill anyone. Anyone who stands on my way can be destroyed in the line of duty. So he had to put a combat on his mind, which I am asking you this morning to put a combat on your mind. Make your mind wear something tough, illustrating that you are ready to fight. Even if you lost one battle, don't give up. Make sure that your combat is in place and go for it once again. If your mind is prepared, I'm telling you today that you are going to achieve it. If your mind is ready, you are going to see it happening. Don't rush to faith without the mental capacity or mental toughness that faith can back up. Faith without that mental toughness is useless. You can confess it, but you will never achieve results. So when you say, I am going to do it, just like Bartimaeus, who was calling Jesus when he was beside the road, people said to him, no, shut up, Bartimaeus. But because he had developed a mental toughness over the years, he said, Jesus, I think in his mind you are saying, no, 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 I'm not talking to you. You are small boys. I am calling Jesus. They tried to stop him, but he said, no, I'm calling Jesus. He developed a mental toughness and he made his own combat just like mine, and he had to make his mind put on the combat ready for anything, like a soldier in the army ready for the war. If your mind is ready, then you can do it. If your mind is prepared, then you can achieve it. If your mind does not care that people are looking down on me, you are going to see it happening in your life. You are going to achieve greatness. Be prepared to be dragged through the mud by people. Fight on. Be ready to be despised by a lot of people. Fight on. Develop that mental capacity. Develop that mental toughness. Be ready to crawl. Fighting. Be ready to roll. Whether in the mud or in the solid ground or on rocks, be ready to roll. Be ready for anything. And say to your life, I am going forward no matter what, and I will stand on my word. The reason why a lot of people fail is because they haven't developed the mental capacity, the toughness. Right now, we are approaching the end of the year, and next year, diaries are going to be bought, and the people are going to write resolutions, including those which they did not fulfill this year. They write them down again, believing that maybe a miracle might happen so that they can fulfill these goals and dreams. But let me assure you, as long as you don't have the mental toughness that goes or that back up your vision, you are going nowhere. It needs people who says, I am going to do it. Then someone can say, where are you going to get the money? You said the money will follow the vision. I am going to do it. Then some people will say, someone tried it and it failed. Then you say, I don't care. But what I know, I am going to do it. Develop that mental toughness. Do the things that you fear most and continue doing them. Learn from the people who have achieved greatness and continue to pursue your own race. If you hear me, I believe you have got something to start doing right now to develop that mental toughness. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming on board. Let me say to you, I will be with you again on Monday. I will be with you again on Monday. Sunday, I go to church. I'm not going to present here, but I am going to be with you on Monday. The presentation I was supposed to do today, I'm going to do it on Monday because I had to repeat this one because of the microphone that was misbehaving yesterday. So I had to repeat this presentation. So the presentation that I was supposed to be doing today is coming on Monday. Please be with me 20 to 10. I will be here ready to give you the King's table. Thank you so much for listening. May the good Lord bless you. Yours, signing out, Bishop Knowledge. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bless you.